I'm going to show you how to make the deep squat comfortable. Now, you're probably thinking that's the reason why we have chairs, so we don't have to be in a deep squat. The problem is with chairs, this is the reason why a lot of us are going to experience aches and pains in our joints and in our lower back. Because when you're spending long hours in a chair, your body will adapt to that position. So therefore your joints, any angle that we go past 90 degrees, you're gonna feel some aches and pains. And when you think about it, when you have a full-time job or when you're working long hours, we're behind a desk, when you're having a meal, you're sitting down on a chair, when you're in a car, you're sitting down, your hips are at 90 degrees. Hey, even when you're on your bike, you're at your 90 degrees. So unless you have regular movement where you bring your knees and hips and ankles past that 90-degree position, you're gonna feel aches and pains when you go past it. We need to start at a particular point that you know you can handle and progress from there. So the first thing we can do is to adjust our squat position. Now, we're all built very differently. What's easy for somebody could be difficult for us, and vice versa. The easiest one we can do is grab yourself a stack of pillows. You'd like a firmer one if you don't have a bolster, or you could just grab a stack of books to sit on. Now, sit on top of it and you'll see here it resembles a deep squat position. Our hips are lower than our knees, but we don't have the added pressure of our body weight on top of our knees and on our ankles. So you can always start with this position and just get used to this angle with your hips, because once you can get used to that, you can move on to the next one. Grab something that can elevate your heels. So I've got my dumbbells here. So I'm gonna put these down for my heels to rest on, taking the pressure away from my ankles. And same thing, just get used to this position and just rest there. Now, if even that is a little bit too much, maybe that's because of the angle of your knee, you can grab your towel or a rolled up mat, whatever it is, and place it in between your calves and your thighs and rest it there, and there you have it. This may not be a deep squat, but it's probably deeper than what most of us can go to. Get used to this position, even if it's just a couple of minutes here. So the exercise I recommend we do. I'm gonna keep my dumbbells here. This is simply just to elevate my heels when I go back to this deep squat position. The first one we wanna do is to get into our hands and knees into our quadruped position. And from here we have our toes tucked. We're gonna rock our hips forward and back. This is the easiest way to mobilize our squat position, because we don't have our weight coming down onto our heels and into our knees. So you pick as much pressure as you want going forward and back. You want to do about 10 of these. We're really easing our joints in this position. And when you got your 10th rep, you want to hold at your end range here for about 30 seconds. Make sure you can breathe. It's very important that if we're not able to breathe, we are going too far in a range that we cannot maintain, and this is where we can hurt ourselves. You need to be able to breathe. So once you've done your 30 seconds in that count, you slowly come off, point your toes, and if it's feeling a little bit sore, maybe tap your toes onto the ground. Now this is where you might still need your heel elevators, your dumbbells, whatever it is. So I'll show you here. Now from here, we get back into our squat position. Let's bring our elbows on the inside of our knees with our hands clasped together. So elbows on the inside edges of your knee, hands clasped together. Bring your hands to the same level as your knee, and then you bring it back up. Bring it back down and up. Really open up our hips here. So you want to do this 10 times, and maybe, same thing, you hold for a 30 count in the open position. Remember, being able to breathe and not... If not able to breathe, we're just going to hurt ourselves there. So in a position where we can find our breath. It may be difficult and challenging, but we need to be able to breathe. After that, you can still keep your heels up if you need, but I'm going to take it down for now. You can bring your hands down, and one knee at a time, we tap the ground. We shift back to the middle, we go to the other side, tap the ground. Back to the middle, and tap. even on both sides. It may be 10 repetitions all up, it may be 20, as long as it's doable for you. Now, once you've done all of those exercises, you'll find that you may need to move out of this position a little bit. So from there, you can put your hands on your knees, bring your hands down, and just lift your hips up and then lower down. Up and lower down, just to really ease out after being in a squat position. There you have it, fam. Those are the things that you can do to make this deep squat position that much more doable for you and a little bit more comfortable. If you are somebody who sits at a chair for long periods of time, I do highly encourage you to visit this deep squat position. To make it easier for you first, use the adjustments I gave you where you're sitting on a block. Maybe you elevate the heels. And instead of having your lunch break behind your desk, maybe you can go out for a walk and have your snack, your meal, your breaks. And if you're going to have a meal, maybe have one a day seated onto the ground. You don't even have to be in a deep squat position. You could be in a cross-legged position, whatever it is. Get down onto the ground much more often. I promise you, you will ease out any aches and pains you may have. It may not get rid of it completely, but at least this is a way that we can start and progress from there. Thanks, fam, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give us a like. If you enjoyed this video, share somebody who you think can get value out of it, and make sure you do subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Thanks again, fam. Have a great one. See ya.